So I don't know if it's my favorite piece, but maybe the most unusual and outside of my comfort zone was I was commissioned to do a mural, and I'd never done anything like that before. So I got my mom, who is a fine artist, to do it with me, and it was a really fun project. So many things we didn't know what we were doing, getting a lift, navigating power lines, just painting on that scale. So that was a really fun project. I've been really interested recently in doing like linocut prints. So, where you take like linoleum and you carve into it, and you put the ink on and prints from that. And I love that style because it's very graphic. Both my parents are fine artists, and so I grew up traveling the country, going to like art shows. So art has always been a part of my life, and I knew that I wanted to do something in the arts, but I didn't know what. Um, and I originally went to school for audio engineering. I love music, and then finally, I think it was my mom who was like, "Well, what about like maybe something you can make money at? Maybe like graphic design." So, on a whim, I signed up for college classes, and then I've been doing it ever since. I think I definitely have my own illustrative style. Part of being a graphic designer is you have to be able to design in many different styles, which is I think a talent of mine. If it's very masculine or very feminine or very corporate, I can do all of those things. But if it's my illustrative style, yeah, I have a very almost somebody said that it was like a Finnish folk art kind of style. Oil. I find it incredibly daunting. I've never touched it before, but I watch a ton of people, do it online.
Hmm.
But there's all these different things that I've never, done before. So like you have to start with like an underlay color and you kind of build on top of that. And I don't know, it's like my brain doesn't understand exactly how that works. Plus the fact that it doesn't dry. I mean, you can work with it almost indefinitely. I just find that really daunting, but I'm very interested in trying. So in my work, it usually starts with a creative brief. So that's me sitting with a client and going over what their needs are. Some people know exactly what they want, and some people don't. Trying to get that information out of them is kind of fun, and and then it's creating and building the verbiage, the imagery that we want to convey. And I do a lot with branding, so I'm starting from the very beginning a lot of times, which is how I prefer it. If I start with the logo, I get to build a brand around it, and then I get to use that brand to hopefully bring in new customers. I love that it's a small town, that, everyone knows each other. We all work really hard to help each other out. Everyone is working on their own projects, but there's always somebody from another, company or council that will step in and help out. And we're kind of all involved in each other's things, but that's what makes it great. I have a lot of people who have been my cheerleaders
Hmm.
and, stuck with me through thick and thin. Like, for example, I've been with the Arts Council for I think 12 or 13 years,
Oh,
and I've
wow.
been through many renditions of people in charge, and
Yeah.
and I've been kind of the constant. Um, and so I get to work with a lot of people who kind of champion for me. They trust me now, and they kind of let me run with ideas. Maybe in my illustration, there's a very kind of, almost childlike graphic style to it, which I think is a lot of who I am, you know.
Yeah.
I love to have fun. I love, innocence, and I love the innocence of children. And that style just feels like me. I don't know that there's a specific project that might live on, but um, my favorite and kind of what I'm known for is, festival posters,
Hmm.
illustrated festival posters. So I hope that those live on, because I put a lot of love into those, and those are my absolute favorite to design. Just go for it. There's so much, especially as an artist, it's so easy to get in your head and to talk yourself out of it. I'm not good at this, oh, there's so many people that are so much better. But if you can take that out and just clear your mind and just go for it and see what happens, you'd be amazed.